Rob, you just made a Disney video. What are you going to do now?
I'm going to make another video about Disney World. Did you know that the famous I'm Going to Disney World marketing campaign exists thanks to Michael Eisner's wife, Jane, and a couple of famous pilots? Jeana Yeager, no relation to Chuck, and Dick Rutan were two famous aviators most well known for completing a flight around the world without stopping and without refueling. The flight itself took 9 days, and they spanned over 24,000 miles. And here I thought a flight to California was going to be bad. They were making news for their historic flight, and it just so happened that a month later, Michael Eisner would be throwing a party in Disneyland with George Lucas and a number of other celebrities to celebrate the opening of Star Tours. Now, of course, them being recent celebrities due to their historic flight, they were invited to the party as well. Over the course of the night, everybody was chit-chatting and making small talk, and at one point, Jane Eisner, Michael Eisner's wife, turned to the pilots and asked them a question. She asked them, now that you've flown around the world and have done the most adventurous thing imaginable, what are you going to do next? And with complete sincerity, they both answered that they were going to Disneyland. Jane loved that answer, and as soon as she had a free moment, she pulled Michael Eisner aside and she told him about the exchange, and she mentioned that it would be an amazing marketing campaign for the parks. Michael loved the idea. In fact, he loved it so much that the very next day he called Tom Elrod, Disney World's chief of marketing, and told him about it. The Super Bowl was only 2 weeks away, and Eisner wanted to jump on this idea as soon as possible. So Elrod reached out to the NFL and worked out appearance deals with athletes from both teams in the event that one or the other would win in order to make this commercial happen. And happen it did. 2 weeks later, the Broncos were beaten by the New York Giants, and a camera crew waiting on the side of the field rushed out to quarterback Phil Simms and asked him, "Phil Simms, you've won the Super Bowl. What are you going to do next?" Phil only had to record 2 takes. In one take, he screamed, "I'm going to Disney World." And in the second take, he recorded, "I'm going to Disneyland." That way they would have a commercial for the East Coast audiences and the West Coast audiences. Now here's where the campaign gets really interesting. You see, you have to remember this was the late 1980s. Technology then wasn't the same as it was today. Today you could record something, edit it on your laptop, and have it on the internet within an hour, but back then the turnaround was much longer. However, in record-setting time, the NFL had footage sent over to Disney within an hour of the games finishing, and 12 hours after the end of the Super Bowl, a commercial was cut and aired the very next morning on Good Morning America. Airing a commercial less than 12 hours after it had been recorded was so unorthodox that within the advertising community, the news of the commercial was almost as big of news as the Super Bowl was. Even though he said he was going to both, ultimately Phil Simms was flown out to Disneyland with his family the very next day, where he spent it enjoying rides and making appearances. All in all, it was said that he earned $75,000 for that day, along with the 2 lines that he recorded at the end of the Super Bowl. Now on its own, this would be the story of a fairly successful marketing campaign. It generated some news, everyone watched it, it was during a popular event, that was great. However, we all know that that's not where it stopped. The What's Next campaign, as Disney called it, became a cultural phenomenon. It has been nearly 30 years and it is still something that athletic winners across the country and across the world scream when they've won. It's every company's dream to have a campaign grow like this, and Disney has Jane Eisner, Michael's wife, to thank for it. If you want to learn about some of the ideas of Jane's husband, Michael Eisner, you can check out my Did You Know Disney's on architecture and Disney's America, the Disney theme park that never was. I want to thank you all for watching. Whatever you're doing this week, make the most of it because it makes it that much better. And I hope to see you all next time for the next Did You Know Disney. Bye, everybody.